KOREAZ viewers, today we invited the Director General from Public Diplomacy and Cultural Affairs Bureau to learn about the Bureau. Hello, Director General. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Ms. Chung. Thank you for having me today.
Can you please introduce the Public Diplomacy and Cultural Affairs Bureau to the viewers?
Our Bureau does various activities to enhance the foreign public's understanding of Korea, utilizing the attractive Korean culture, Korean language, and policies. We hope to win the hearts and minds of the people around the world and make them true friends of Korea.
Oh, so basically our Bureau aims to win hearts and minds of the foreigners all around the world. What specific projects are being carried out in the Public Diplomacy and Cultural Affairs Bureau?
K-pop World Festival, Ambassadors Taekwondo Cup, and Quiz on Korea are most well-known cultural programs. Korean embassies and consulate generals have held comprehensive cultural festivals, which is called Korean Week every year. There are many programs that provide Korean language classes for everyone of all genders and ages, and invitation programs for foreign students. In the area of policy communication, we have held more than 50 conferences and seminars on Korean peninsular issues, climate change, and health policy. Recently, we launched a digital public diplomacy program such as KOREAZ.
There must have been many difficulties in public diplomacy due to COVID-19 pandemic. What is the most memorable public diplomacy project for you this year despite the situation?
This year is one of the most difficult years for public diplomacy because we had to cancel many events such as concerts, performances, and conferences due to COVID-19. The most memorable event for me was the closing ceremony of the 30th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Korea and Russia at Mali Theater in Moscow. The Korean team prepared the traditional Korean dance performances and fusion-style performances using IT technology. I remember we were so nervous that the show may be cancelled due to the worsening COVID-19 situation in Moscow. Thankfully, it was not. The performance was very successful. At the end of the ceremony, I saw the foreign minister of two countries give 2 thumbs up to the performing art team. It was quite impressive for me.
We are a MOFA studio within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs where all the exciting events take place. Personally, I think it is the most unconventional space within the ministry and the best place that shows the change in the public diplomacy paradigm. In the COVID-19 era, the need for digital public diplomacy is quite evident.
COVID-19 was a big challenge for public diplomacy because we had to cancel most of the face-to-face meetings and events for more than a year now. Ironically though, COVID-19 provided us an opportunity to utilize digital public diplomacy through social media, VR, and metaverse. Webinars, online conferences, and virtual concerts became a new normal since the outbreak of COVID-19. I think such a digital technology opened a new chapter in public diplomacy because it enables us to communicate with the world without limitation of audience, place, or time. For example, when we held the online conference on climate change last March, anyone from any country was invited as an audience. As such, we are exploring various ways to expand our communication with international community throughout digital diplomacy.
Then what would be the most memorable digital public diplomacy project for you this year?
I like all the contents in KOREAZ, but the Live Together Global Challenge seems to be the most successful. With the global spread of the pandemic, hate against Asian and racism have surged around the world. To fight the rising hate crime and racism, Korea led the establishment of a group of friends for solidarity and inclusion with global citizenship education in UNESCO. We started this challenge together with UNESCO under the slogan of Live Together, United Against Racism in March, and set up an Instagram page. Many celebrities around the world, including the Secretary General of OECD and Director General of UNESCO, participated in the challenge. More than 5 million people in above 100 countries showed their support. We also made an animated music video and held a K-pop concert with the theme of Live Together, receiving a lot of love from our KOREAZ viewers. I think the campaign has indeed contributed to enhancing global awareness on racism.
Also, I know the ministry and our bureau have put much efforts to actively communicate with people around the world by adapting quickly to environmental changes. I am more curious about how public diplomacy in Korea will develop in the days ahead. Can you tell us about future plans?
Uncertainty due to COVID-19 is expected to continue for a while, but I think the importance of public diplomacy that bridges the distance between people is even more important in times like these. We will continue to do our best to communicate and exchange more closely with global community through various methods and channels, whether face-to-face or non-face-to-face, while swiftly adapting to environmental changes and technological development.